Hi, it's Debbie Pebble here. I thought it'd be cool to run Spiritomb. Spiritomb, I've never made one before. I heard from the grapevine that Spiritomb would be really good in Great League now in the new meta, so I decided to build one, and here we're just going to showcase a couple of battles with it. Now, with our Spiritomb, we are running Sucker Punch, Shadow Ball, and Rock Tomb. Now, Rock Tomb is the particular one that I really want to try out. Rock Tomb has been buffed during this Might and Mastery season, and Rock is a really interesting, good coverage kind of type. So it's really good against ice. So, you know, you got your Laprases. It's good against flyers as well. It's really good against bug. I mean, like, there might be some, I don't know, Glissopods out there, but it does have the, you know, the water typing as well. So maybe not Glissopod, but any bug types that are available there. And also your fire types as well. So I think, you know, having the rock type move, similar to rollout, like just having that good coverage is kind of nice. So we're going to try out this team, see how we roll with it, and go through our battles and see what we come up against. Now, if you're new to the channel as well, please drop a like or a subscribe or both. I really would appreciate it. We are trying to climb those numbers up a bit at the moment, and I appreciate all those that did subscribe from our last video. I really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles. All right, we're getting into our first match. So we got the Superior leading into the respective Morpeko. Now, that was really quick, so I believe this is a Psychic Fangs. So we'll be able to not shield, just take this quite comfortably, and the opponent switches out into their Venusaur. Once we see the Venusaur, we're like, okay, let's do some Aero Ace damage, and it brings it almost into half health. We go for another Aero Ace to just try and take this down. Obviously, we don't want Blastoise to see this. And now we can actually comfortably bring our Spiritomb to try and Sucker Punch the Venusaur down. The Venusaur move, Sludge Bomb, is not very effective against our Spiritomb, which is awesome. So it's able to handle that quite comfortably. And now we're against the Blastoise. Now we can actually, this first time I've used Rock Tomb. Yeah, it does quite a bit against a Blastoise, surprisingly, taking a third of its health. So yeah, it's really interesting. I had a lot of fun playing with Spiritomb in these matches, and now we can bring our own Blastoise out to have a Blastoise mirror. We can take everything here. We don't need to shield, and now they bring out their Morpeko, and because Morpeko is a bit of a squishier Pokemon, its health isn't as much as, you know, say, a bulkier Pokemon. Like, by launching those hydro cannons, it puts a lot of pressure because it probably might even knock out just of how fragile the Morpeko is. So we can comfortably just, you know, charge these moves up, and you can see that they protected their Morpeko twice. They decided to shield twice to look after their Morpeko, but we know that the Superior now with 2 shields is quite comfortable against this Morpeko. They no longer have shields in play. Even though our defense has fallen, we have 2 shields, so we should be able to now be able to get to the next move. I think an Aero Ace would be fine from here, but we actually were patient. They tried to go for a catch with the Blastoise, and we didn't even have the charge move there at that time, so maybe it was miscounting by then. But that was a good battle with a Spiritomb on that first match. Now, if you're wondering, these games are sped up slightly. They are 1.5. Now we've got a Mighty Yenna, and for the life of me, I do not know the moveset of Mighty Yenna. It's something that I don't think I have come across. So we do shield the Poison Fang because, thank goodness, poison is not great for us. And yeah, they respectively shield back with the Frenzy Plant that we launched. Now we're going straight for the Aero Ace because I believe before the Poison Fang and the Frenzy Plant was based on a CMP tie. So they decided to actually overfarm. We managed to get the second Aero Ace. However, they are going for the Poison Fang here, and we decided to let the Superior go. in this situation, I think I was trying to be like, what can I, do a bit of farm with? And they straight throw again. So almost straight through. And it is a poison fang against our Spiritomb. So yeah, that was in our favor. Now they bring out the Shadow Swampert. Now Swampert now has the move Sludge, which has been buffed during this Might and Mastery season. So it was something that I kind of expected. They went for the Hydro Cannon instead, which is totally fair because it's not super effective against a Spiritomb. Now there is no shields in play. Our Spiritomb is trying to do as much work as possible. We try and count down and catch their next Hydro Cannon onto our Blastoise. And yeah, it's just, again, no shields in play. We get to the Hydro Cannon. They get to the Hydro Cannon. They are able to launch first before we do. Oh, actually, it's a Sludge. My mistake. They decide to Sludge us there. And we can just able to hold on with a bit of health and launch our Hydro Cannon. Now they have got their Skeledirge, which, again, probably has the Community Day move of Blast Burn and now is available with Torch Song. And we were quite lucky there because we were on such little health, managed to get the Rock Tomb and take out that Skeledirge. So again, really good to have that rock type coverage, especially if they've got a sneaky fire type in the back. Great, into this game here. This is probably something familiar with last season with a Dunsparce. So we know with Superior against Dunsparce that Superior tends to win this matchup. These frenzy plants do take quite a bit of damage, and the Dunsparce can only really do I wouldn't say minimal damage, but it takes longer to get to their particular moves, and it is not as hard hitting. We decide to actually go into our Blastoise to just roll out down the Dunsparce, so then we can get as much energy as possible. And now they bring out a Gardevoir. Now, usually I get a little bit scared with the Gardevoir. It is running charms, so we can see that our health is diminishing quite quickly with those charms. However, we get to the Hydro Cannon. They use both shields, so there's no shields in play, and we manage to get to the next Hydro Cannon, which hopefully can take out. Oh, it does leave a little bit of health left on that Gardevoir. It isn't a Shadow. It is 1466 CP, so I was like, I wasn't sure if it would take it out. But again, it did survive. It tries to synchronize us, but again, it was not very effective. We did decide to use another shield here, and similar situation with game one. We can get to the Rock Tomb and comfortably take out this Skeledirge. Again, these matches were done straight after Community Day, so I think a lot of players were just trying out the Skeledirge and seeing how it would go. Next up, we have our Superior against a Feraligatr, a regular Feraligatr, and then they straight switch into the Marowak, which we bring our Blastoise in. I think it's a difficult lead for them, and then to switch in and lock in with this Alolan Marowak is difficult. With every move that they have, we will be able to take quite well. So we managed to roll out down to gather a little bit of energy for the Feraligatr that they bring out. Now, these Hydro Cannons won't do too much to a normal Feraligatr, but again, we're kind of stuck in this position, and then they chose to just duck out. So we don't know what was in the back, but hey, we'll take them. On to the next match. Now we're against a Whiscash, which again, something from seasons past. They straight switch out into their Sceptile. So the good thing about Superior, it does have that coverage if you're against another grass type. So we try and land the Aero Ace. They decide to shield, and now we're going into our Spiritomb. Now, I don't think there's anything that, probably Leaf Blade. Yeah, Leaf Blade from the Sceptile, and it does, do about a third of damage, so it's not too bad. We don't want to take another one, and now we'll be able to get to our charge attack, and we've gone for Rock Tomb here, which will definitely KO this Sceptile. Now they bring back their Whiscash, and I kind of suspected they will get to the Mud Bomb before we'll get to our charge attack, so we'll let the Spiritomb go here. We still have that Superior, and we've got a full health Blastoise as well, which hopefully that can help seal the game in the back. They Mud Bomb us. I was a bit worried. I didn't do my counts. I thought they might have Blizzard us, but then they ducked out. So at this stage, this team is doing pretty well for us. And now we're versing a Zygarde, which I haven't seen before. Again, this is a 1401 CP Zygarde. I don't think I've ever been against a Zygarde before. These are very low ranked battles, so we expect to see some spicy choices. And I opted not to shield. It was a bulldoze, so I was quite happy with that. And we managed to try and get this frenzy plan off. I don't remember if they decide not to shield, so that's by Zygarde. And now they bring out their Skeledirge, which I straight switch into Blastoise to try and get to the Hydro Cannon, and they switch on to a Diancie, which again, this is really, really interesting. All these particular Pokemon, besides the Skeledirge that we have seen in a couple of battles already, are really interesting Pokemon that have been brought out. And yeah, you can see that Hydro Cannon basically took 90% of this Diancie's health, and we're able to roll out down and gather so much energy for the Skeledirge. I believe, I can't remember if there's shields in play, but we've got almost 2 Hydro Cannons at this stage. Oh, they had no shields in play. Yep, that's GG's. Right, into this match here, we're against an Azumarill. So usually this kind of matchup, it can still be turbulent depending on shields. So in like on paper, grass against water, you would think that would be okay. However, this person decides not to shield their Azumarill, and we decide not to shield our Superior because you know what? We're in the yellow, they're in the red. We're trying to do, and we managed to like just fast attack down. Now they brought into their Typhlosion. I should have swapped, but I straight through Aero Ace, and then I decided to swap because I don't like Incinerate. Incinerate scares me. So I was like, I need to do something. They now Thunder Punch and switch into their Dunsparce. So obviously we're not going to go for the ghost type move of Shadow Ball here with a normal type. We're going to do some Rock Tomb throwing. So now that the attack has fallen, we actually can be okay with their drill runs because they're not going to hit as hard. Now we can get to the next Rock Tomb. They fire first, so I think at this point we can let the Spiritomb go and be able to bring out most likely Blastoise because you know, full health Blastoise. We have that Superior in the back that has a little bit of health that we might use as an extra shield. It did have I think a little bit of energy on there. Now the Typhlosion comes out, it will have a Thunder Punch ready. And yeah, we need to protect this Blastoise. So all shields, or our shields are all out of play, and we have double Hydro. So we should be able to get back to back against this Dunsparce. First shield goes. Now we can get to the second one, launching the next Hydro. I mean, we might even have some energy for the third if we get another rollout down. But this game is GG's here. Oh, not quite GG. I remember this battle because I thought I have won by this stage, and you might thought of I've won at this stage, but we have been blessed with a Niantic delay. I think at this point I was like tapping on one finger and then tapping on 2 fingers. Now, at this point, they managed to get to another charge attack. So I obviously there's some the communication's not talking to each other. I just try and tap as much as possible to whether to launch a charge attack, whether to launch a fast attack to try and seal and finish this game. I think at some point I considered like just restarting, but we managed to finally get to the end of that and win that match. But a bit frustrating when those delays happen. I totally understand if you are in a winning position and then you end up in a losing position. Now we're going back to a Superior versus a Dunsparce. Again, this is a very familiar matchup. They're able to, you know, launch whether they want to do a drill run or a rock slide. They go for drill run, does slightly more damage, and we can get our frenzies off here. They decide to stay. They're not switching out. We know in this particular matchup that we should be able to win quite comfortably. They actually choose to rock slide that time round, and we just decide to Aero Ace to try and whittle it down to a little bit of HP, so then we can use our next Pokemon to get as much energy as possible. Now we've actually brought out, or I suppose lured out their Venusaur, and they actually decided not to shield the Ice Beam. Maybe they thought it was a Hydro Cannon. We now shield the Blastoise because we're quite comfortable in this spot, managed to roll out down, and now against a Talonflame with like a Blastoise with two Hydro Cannons ready. Now they do have two shields. Oh, sorry. Well, now only one shield, but we are so comfortable. And I think for me personally, I need to get an idea of when to throw at the right timing. So that's something that I'm still working on. I am not going to say that I'm the best. I'm definitely not the best with timing. So it's a bit of a project for myself to try and get better timing this season. I had a lot of fun with Spiritomb today. I hope that maybe you could possibly even make one for yourself. Give it a shot, give it a go. It is something that was really interesting to have as a safe swap. I don't know if I'll ever have it as a lead Pokemon, but it's has quite a bit of coverage. I don't think it's the new Sableye perhaps, because Sableye definitely was that great switch option, but I think having Rock Tomb is really, really cool and really nice to play in this new season. Let me know your thoughts on Spiritomb, and if you're deciding to make one, if you happen to have a Spiritomb was only available during the Halloween events, and let me know how you go with your Spiritomb if you do decide to make one. Big thank you to our Patreons. I'll have them below here, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye.